Sometimes you are holding yourself back without even realizing it. And it's only when we become aware of these subconscious habits that we can truly begin to change, evolve, and become our true best ultimate selves. Welcome back to the Stella podcast, y'all. We are in a new setup today. As y'all can see, I'm trying to kind of figure out my life, where I want to film, the setup. I just want to have fun with it because I feel like that's when I can get into the flow state. That's when I am on my LOL vibes. That's when I feel most engaged, and that's when I feel like the message comes across more clearly to y'all. So let me know what you like the best. Also, I finally got my new camera and I'm also recording this without my mic, so let me know what you think. This topic is heavy on my mind because I feel like personally I'm in the midst of kind of a transformational stage, if you will. And there have just been a lot of different things I've been noticing about myself, maybe how I act, how people react to me and my energy, and just comparing that, now to maybe a few years ago or when I was a bit younger. This is such a hot topic on my podcast, at least, but that after your brain fully develops vibe, when you go from your early 20s to your mid to then your late 20s, it's so much, like all the different stages are so different and so transformative. And I've said this before, but I think because there's not a lot of representation of these different stages in, mainstream media or in movies and just things that we see, growing up, a lot of us are very unprepared. And I think most of society feels this way, and that's why people, feel so much pressure to stick to, the path that society tells us to take. Go to college, get married by this age, have kids by this age. If you're not doing that, you're not doing it right. And that's why people rush into marriages. They rush into maybe a degree that they don't really want or feel aligned with. Not that getting married is inherently like you shouldn't do that, or like getting a degree, you shouldn't, but it's just when you rush into something because of external pressure and not because you actually feel like it's right for you at this time or maybe at all, that's when it becomes an issue. And then you have to deal with those consequences later on. And of course you can always start again, but if you can avoid the time and money of a divorce, or the time and money of a degree that you don't end up using, or to even worse, more dangerous circumstances, if you could avoid that, then the path to happiness or fulfillment or just feeling aligned is a lot more clear. The grass is cut. You gotta do these things like journal, self-reflect, learn about basically the way that you want to be. So if you want to feel lighter, happier, and you're attracting what it is that you want, you need to be focused on that, in the sense of that's the content you're consuming. That's what you're focusing on the most in the day-to-day. That's the type of books you're reading, the people you're watching online. If you say, oh, I want to be this elevated version of myself, I want to switch things up, I want to change, but you're always watching the same things, you're watching, people drama that just is dumb. Obviously there's entertainment and that's fine, but to constantly be watching things that are bringing you kind of down or just distracting you, that's just holding you back. It's not like a break, it's actively holding you back. So that kind of is one of the first things. That wasn't even, number one, I'm gonna, this is the number one thing you need to stop doing. But I think the point is focusing more on what you do want to become. That is a good place to start, because things really stay in our subconscious. We will be scrolling on our phones all day, and you think about things, things will pop up in your mind, oh, I saw this video, this and that, or I saw this. And that's why these pipelines, can be so dangerous, the alt-right pipeline for these young kids, because then that's what's in their subconscious. They think it's normal, and then the algorithm is feeding that to them. So it's it's dangerous in a lot of different ways, just energetically and literally. Do a little cleanse, of your following, of your algorithm, because it can be a lot. So I want to talk about a few of the things that I have noticed the most for myself. And I think even from last year, this is when I was really talking about this a lot, and how I glowed up. I've always talked about that because I'm always evolving, always on my elevation, self-help, glow up vibes. But even from last year, I feel like I've changed a lot for the better, and I just feel a lot more confident. And what I mean by that is when I walk into like a room, I think a big example for me is showing up somewhere solo. Like just the other night, I met up with some friends and there was like this event going on. There was a lot of different people, and I think in the past I would have felt maybe a little more nervous like showing up somewhere by myself and then having to like find my friends in this area. Like let me know if you were like it's kind of like a little thing, but sometimes that just is kind of overwhelming and you feel anxious about it like a little bit, you know. It's just like but I was enjoying my own company so much throughout the whole process of like getting there, talking to the people at the door, talking to the people at the front desk, going up. Like it was just fun. And then even walking in the place, finding people there, like talking to people I don't know. It's like snooky parties here, you know. Like it's not like, oh my god, like I'm like social anxiety. That's the energetic difference. And I think what has really helped me with this, because I have definitely had times where I felt more like this, but then also like, okay, most of the time I would feel more anxious, or most of the time I felt like I needed to rely more like on alcohol to kind of like get me warmed up for like a social event. And I'm literally gonna give you the actual tips and tricks that like number one, if you get this, you get this, but if you don't, I'm going to explain. Having an LOL mindset. So you know when you have a night out and you're like rehashing it with your friends or something, and there's all these memes from the night that you now have, and like maybe there's this random guy. Like I remember this time literally in 2017, me and Sonia went out actually to Highlight Room in LA. It was probably like on a Wednesday, you know what I mean? And this guy, like I still remember this so vividly because it literally became a meme. This guy was trying to talk to Sonia and she was not interested. And he was like, you are missing out on the chance to get to know a magician. And still to this day, I will like think of that. I will laugh about that. So just, you know, that energy when you're out and like things are funny and you're almost like, to me at least, it's like you're trolling guys. Like it's funny. It's like light and fun. Putting yourself in this kind of mindset. How can this be fun? How can this be funny? You know, not that it's not like, oh, I need to go around being the funny one and entertaining people. It's like an internal, like me, myself, and I. And obviously if you're like having laughs with your friends, like sure. But it's not like, oh, I need to like make jokes. It's like, no, like how can I literally see the situation from an LOL mindset? Because that also helps you to just not take things so seriously. And it's not like, I don't know. You know what I hate? You know what I hate is when you're out, especially, oh my God, I like not even in like out at night, but literally anywhere. I hate when there's like, especially pretty girls that are just so like, why are you guys taking yourself so seriously? Like, please stop. Don't get me wrong. I love having like a chic baddie moment and feeling like, but I think, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of people are very drawn to me because I'm like happy. I smile a lot. I laugh. I am friendly. I'm personable. And I just hate the vibe of like, especially when it's such a pretty girl and you're just getting the worst vibe from her because she's just like, stop. Y'all gotta stop. It's not cute. Maybe it works for you and you are able, like, you don't care and you still pull and you're not like, oh, I feel like something's missing. So good for you, I guess. But to me, I just really don't like that. And some of these girls will have attitudes for no reason and it's just very off-putting. And like, are you unhappy in life? Like, what's wrong? I just really don't like that. And that's just not my personality. So I think I really dislike it even more. So, like resting bitch face, it's like time and place, babe. Save it for public transportation. Save it for when you're like, you don't want someone to talk to you, not like if you're in a social environment. I think to other people it can come across like you think you're better than them, or that you don't want to be there, or that like you're going through something. It's not cute. I really don't like it. Like, that's not to say, oh, you need to be like, haha, where's your smile at? But you know what I'm talking about, when there's just girls sitting there the whole time, like, it's like, okay, damn, no one asked you to be here. Like, leave if that's the issue. Like, so having laughs, and especially if you are trying to meet people, or if you're trying to network, or if you're trying to just like talk to someone, like literally in life, I think some of the girls don't necessarily know how they are coming across. And you know, you spend all this time on your makeup and your outfit and your hair, and you look good and you smell good, but then you come across like you have this bad attitude. I know some guys like that, but I think most don't, because it seems like you're stuck up and like it's just not cute. Nobody, like, to be honest, people don't want to be around that. So finding this balance of being, I'm gonna say open, but like, I guess friendly, happy, fun, and then also having kind of these strict boundaries for yourself, because you don't want it to seem like, oh, you'll just go along with anything, or like you're just happy to be there. You know, it's like kind of finding that balance of, yes, I'm having a good time, but I'm also like, I have standards. I'm not just gonna go along with like anything. You know, I think a good example of this, and this is all on my mind because I went out for the first time in a while the other weekend. There was this guy, imagine like a foreign bro, if you get what I mean. Like, I think he was Dutch or something. European, you know, would not leave my friend alone, and was also towards the beginning of him basically stalking her at this party. Also was kind of trying to involve me, but like, babe, I was literally like busy. And so I just look at him, I'm like, no. And it's like, I'm not mad, I'm not even annoyed, it's just like, we're not gonna do that, no. And you turn away. He didn't bother me the rest of the time, you know what I mean? Obviously sometimes you have to escalate situations, but it's like, when I say, you know, be friendly, it's like also kind of a time and place thing, and you have to know how to lay down the law, set a boundary, and not tolerate what you don't want to tolerate, whatever it is. So finding that balance, like, you need to be strict, but you don't walk around like it's like, damn, maybe you should have stayed home if you felt that way. Like, I don't know. Let me give you another example. I love to troll. Like, if I'm out, like, that's like my favorite thing, honestly. So this was, I don't know, last month or something, but my friend and I were walking from a restaurant to like this event, and we're in this area where there's a lot of people going out. It was kind of like, I don't know, the crowd felt a little young, so it wasn't chic. Like, it wasn't gross, but it wasn't chic. But this group, what's with these European guys? This group of bros approached us, and they all had accents, and I was kind of trying to place the accent. And I was like, oh, are you guys French? And they were like, oh, no, we are Italian. And I was like, oh, my bad. I was like, are you here on holiday? You know, you could tell they were a little drunk. Like, I wasn't getting bad vibes, but I was just like, okay, we need to, like, leave this conversation because we got places to be. So I could tell this one guy was like really trying to talk to my friend. I think that's why they approached us, and I could tell my friend was not having it. So I was like, okay guys, well, we gotta get going. Have a good night, enjoy being Italian, I'm sure it's great, have fun, see you. And we left, and they're just like, oh, okay. Finding that balance of having LOLs and knowing when to lay down the law, I think it just makes your life so much better, more light-hearted. Because something else I don't think is a cute look is like getting immediately super aggressive. You know, obviously, like, if you're in danger, of course, do what you gotta do. But sometimes I think it's also off-putting and just creates this bad vibe if you're immediately like, oh, F off, or like kind of rude. You know, I don't know, at least to me, and again, of course, it depends on the situation, But in a lot of instances, you can save your energy, you know, like why go off on someone if you don't have to? Like if it escalates to that, sure, again, if you feel like you're literally in danger, but sometimes it's like, oh my god, you need to chill. I have literally seen it with my own eyes where a girly pop will be acting just way too aggressive and like, it's like, whoa. And then people start treating her differently, as in worse, like in the same instant. Like, you know, it's like, okay, if you had just like been a little more graceful and classy and like, I don't know, if you're that mad, like excuse yourself or something. And this is not to say, you know, that you shouldn't react if someone's behavior warrants a reaction or something, or like, oh, women should like be small, but it's just literally like, what is going to benefit you the most? Like, do you want everyone to, you know, be like, what's her problem, and not, you know, give you opportunities that they might have otherwise? Do you want to have a harder time in life? Like, literally, some people just overreact to everything, and it's not cute, and you're making people around you uncomfortable or just like put off, and therefore decreasing your own opportunities that you could have had. So again, finding that balance, of course, you need to know how to stick up for yourself, how to have boundaries. Don't just be, oh, I'm okay with everything, I'm so chill and go with the flow. But then know how to, you know, make a joke in the sense of like, don't take everything so seriously. Like, not everything. That's the thing. It's like, you don't need to take people's behavior so personally, especially if it's randoms. And when you don't give them the reaction that they are looking for, they look dumb. Like, they're the ones to look dumb, not you, because you are being classy and like more like, well, what's your problem? Not everything has to be like this huge dramatic serious thing. Like, you can literally have a laugh and your life will be easier. Isn't that what we want? Like, come on. So as far as, you know, talking to guys, or if you're out and maybe guys are approaching you, or you exchange numbers, you give him your number, whatever the case may be, another huge thing you need to do, or should I say not do, what you need to do is the least. Like, literally do the least. And this, I love Shira 7, y'all know, and this is one of the best things that, you know, I really learned from her and have implemented throughout the years. But it's like, okay, you do not tell a guy your life story. Also, I don't really believe in asking a guy too many questions. I think a big example for me, because I know a lot of girls do this, is if a guy approaches them, they'll be like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? I don't ask that, because he's either going to lie, like he's going to lie. If he's already approaching me, I don't know. I guess if that works for you, you can do that. But like, to me, that's just an example. It's like, I'm going to find out. So I don't need to ask and like make it hot, you know? So just that mix of playing a little dumb, but really be peeping everything and doing the least yourself. Like, you need to remain kind of mysterious. Don't talk too much, in the sense of like, some girls want to share their entire life story to a guy they just met, or like you're treating him like you would a friend, like a girlfriend. It's like, they don't take things the same, you know? And it's just that energy of like not having to prove yourself. Like, you don't need to prove yourself, and you can just tone it down. Like, that calm, grounded energy, a little bit of mystique, it really makes your experience so much better. And it is crazy. I just think it's crazy how much, you know, it's like, why do you want to tell someone your whole life story and everything about you? And why are you bringing up like your ex? Why are you asking him questions that just like, do you really want to know the answer to that? Or he's gonna lie? I don't know. It's just like, chill. He should be the one impressing you. And if he's not trying to do that, he's not the one, and you need to move on. And like, the one as in like someone you should literally even just like consider giving a conversation to. You know, when you do less, they want to do more. It's so true. You see it time and time again. And again, it's not about acting like stuck up. you know, but it's like an energetic thing. And once you can really tune into that and feel the difference of like, okay, this is how I feel when I'm like, I don't know, just like, oh my god, like I'm just so overly excited, I want to like talk so much and like share my whole life story to a random. Versus like, oh, I'm gonna be like mysterious and like chic, not in an annoying, obnoxious way, but like in your own way. And I'm just going to focus on looking good and like, how can I make this opportunity serve me, in the sense of like, what do I gain from this, even if it's just like, oh, I'm having a laugh, you know? Something I really hate is when guys try to trap you into a conversation and they don't offer you anything, and then you're not even like enjoying the conversation, so you're not even gaining a benefit of like, oh, I'm having a nice convo right now. Like, it's literally just like you're taking up space for free and you're annoying. No. If there's one thing I've learned, so there's that. Men respect and like women who have boundaries, but you don't go around saying like, this is my boundary. Like, you just act on it. So many people, this is men and women, but so many people talk so much and they don't just do what they say. Like, you just need to do it. You know, if you have ever been around a toddler, or if you've worked with kids, or if you have kids, one of the main things, especially, you know, when they are toddlers and they start kind of testing boundaries, they kind of learn like they have free will in a sense. Like, they're kind of like, oh, I can like what is okay, you know? One of the number one things you will hear, you know, like tips and tricks wise, is that you need to take action immediately. Like, for instance, if you say, oh, we're leaving the park in 5 minutes, and they're like, okay, and then you're like, okay, what, 2 minutes? Okay, it's time to go. No, 5 more minutes. Nope. And then maybe they like try to run or like go to the next playground activity. Nope. You pick them up, you take them. No, we're not doing that. You don't just like keep saying it over and over, because then they just learn like, oh, they're just gonna keep saying it. And then, oh my god, you know what I hate is like when parents then will give in. Oh, okay, fine, Angel. Like, no. And it's the same for anyone. If a guy wants your number and you don't want to give it to him, and then he asks like 5 times, and on the 5th time you're like, fine, then he just learns, okay, it's gonna take 5 times of asking to then get what I want. Like, you know, stop. You need to stand on business. You need to do what you say you're going to do, and you don't have to walk around like, these are my boundaries, everyone. It's like, no, just act on it. It's action over words. Like, every time you need to just embody that and just trust in yourself. There are things I will not do, I will not give into, I don't want to associate with, whatever. And that's that. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, that's just it. You know what's weird? Real talk. I feel like we grew up kind of in this era of like, oh, sex positivity, like this certain kind of genre of feminism. It's like, oh yeah, hookups are like empowering. And it's like, no, they're not. It's like this third thing. Like, it's not like, oh, it's empowering. It's not like, oh, it's a sin. But then it's like a third thing. It's like, this doesn't benefit you, and the man is probably going to like not respect you after this, because he thinks, oh, like she does this with everyone, because I didn't really have to do much to like convince her to sleep with me or something, you know? And I just think it's so true that men respect women who are strict and who say no, and who, I mean, I don't necessarily want to say bratty, because I think it depends on the specific, you know, girl or woman and your personality. But guys like it when you tell them what to do, to an extent, and in a specific way. Oh my god, like, I shouldn't, like, that's not what I mean. Like, I don't mean in like a nagging, like, oh, my ball and chain wife way, but it's like, if you're like, no, I'm not doing that, and then you don't do it, and they're like, wow, like, do the least and be obsessed with yourself. But again, you don't, like, not in like the way of the girl at the club, like, you can be fun, flirty, mysterious, LOL mindset, you know, but just focus on being cute and like your own life, and people are attracted to that. I think that is truly what confidence is. So like, regardless of dating, like if you take this energy, obviously not like, you know, flirting and but like, just, grounded, fun, personable, whatever. Like, put your own spin on it. If you can take that into any situation, a job interview, if you're meeting new people, if you have like something where you gotta talk to people, if you're literally going to the grocery store, if you have to have a meeting with someone, you know, it's just a different type of energy because you come without the vibe that you have something to prove or that you're scared, rude, and stuck up. And it's not about, you know, getting people to like you, because that's the opposite of it. You know, that's like you're operating like, oh my God, they have to like me. But it's like, you know, you're going to be fine regardless. So you're going to feel fine at the end of it, no matter what. Like, not everyone's going to respond well to that. Again, a lot of people want to test you and try you because they want to see if they can like ruin like your day, your confidence. Like, oh, I bet it's not real. Like, I could like get her to snap or react or whatever. There are people who literally want a reaction like, oh my God, like, you get a life, like, baby, you need these tips and tricks. So it's not like, oh, everyone's gonna be charmed by me and like me. It's like, no, you're just going to walk away from any situation feeling like, I'm gonna be good, like, I'm gonna be fine. That was, if anything, like, funny, or I learned from this. Ways that I personally practice this, because, you know, it's just easy to get caught up in the motion of like your weekly schedule and just like work, gym, like, gotta get to bed, gotta like wash these dishes, whatever. Like, I'm not full glam every day, but just doing little things to kind of put me in that mindset and energy, even when I'm just living my regular life. Because I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I will forget I'm like a baddie. And I think it's less in the summer. Like, I'm more of a baddie in the summer for sure, especially in winter. Like, oh my God, I be forgetting I'm a baddie. And then it's like, you get cute, you go out and you're like, oh my God, like, I could be getting this attention like every day, babe. Like, why don't I do that? I'm literally blocking my own blessings right now. The things I do, because I don't want to like put on literally a full face to go to the gym or something, but little things like putting on a cute outfit, even if it's like a casual outfit or you're literally just running errands or like going to work, you know, it's just like putting a little extra effort. With the makeup too, I always make sure that my makeup is good. Like, again, I don't do like a lash every day. I don't do eyeliner every day. I don't even do like I don't do a full coverage foundation every day, but just making sure that I look good and snatched. Because when you look at yourself, like, it really does make a difference. Nails stay done, lips stay hydrated, toes stay done. I keep up with my tan, just all of those types of things. I think that's an obvious for a lot of us, but you know, we feel better when we look our best and when we like how we look. Like, you could be having a horrible day and then you look in the mirror and you feel better. You know what I mean? Like, it really helps. Always making sure that my hair is done. And again, like, sometimes that's a slick back bun. Sometimes that's like a little, I don't know, like, scrunch moment, but it's like, it's still a look in some way or another. Like, it's still cute. I use Pinterest a lot. And I also, you know, look at people's outfits a lot. I'm like, oh, that's like a cute, you know, errand look. Like, I'm gonna do that. Also, saying good morning to people. You know, if you work in a building and there's like a front desk person, or like if you go to someone's apartment and there's a front desk person, or if you're checking out groceries, you know, just like make the effort to say good morning. Like, you don't necessarily have to have a full convo with every single person you meet every day, but just kind of practicing, you know. And I've talked about this before. I read that book, The Power of Strangers, I think last year, or maybe it's been 2 years ago now, but it was so good, just, you know, about how social humans are. And so it's kind of like that mix of the two worlds, like, oh, making people feel seen and acknowledged, and like literally building community, and like, oh, you know, we're all like addicted to our phones, but the loneliness rates are the worst they've ever been. But then you can also sometimes add like some cute flirty moments. Like, I just think this world would be a lot better just getting into that more lighthearted, like, fun energy on a day-to-day basis, because it's so easy to just be like, I'm annoyed all day, like, it's too hot, all these people, like, I'm so stressed out. But you can just like have a flirty moment. It doesn't mean hit on people, but like, you know, like, ooh, fun and flirty, like, yeah. But yeah, it really like benefits you. Like, you just feel better, people treat you better, puts other people in a good mood, it's cute, like, it's just, it makes your day-to-day that much more entertaining and fun. And it's like, we have to like live our lives, because again, it's so easy to get caught up in that monotony of the day-to-day. We need to spice it up in small ways that are like what's the word? Not achievable, but like realistic. Like, it's not gonna wear you out. Also, when it comes to reflecting, reflect on, you know, all areas of your life and where things feel out of balance. And I think this can also give you a lot of insight into, you know, why maybe you feel off or what you need to focus on more this week. Like, I was feeling down, and then I just realized, like, oh, I haven't like seen friends in a while. Like, I think I'm like I would rate my social level recently kind of low. And I did that, and I felt so much better. I was like, oh my God, like, this is what I was missing. Or like, if you're not getting the best sleep, it's like, okay, what can I do about this to get some good sleep regularly? Because everything is connected. Like, literally every single, and this is not to like stress you out or put pressure on you. It's more so, you know, you have to think about it as empowering, because if every single thing in your life is kind of connected or has some kind of reaction or a side effect that you then experience, it's like, oh, I can do something about that. You know, it's not like things are just randomly happening to you or you randomly feel like off. It's like, oh, okay, why do I feel off? Oh, well, I didn't really get good sleep last night. Or, oh, like, I need to get out. Like, I haven't gotten cute in a while. Or like, maybe I haven't been drinking enough water. Or I need to say no a little bit more. You know, I'm feeling like too overloaded. Like, there's too many things going on. There's something you can do about everything. And then especially when you then implement this fun flirty layer of like, I'm gonna enjoy my life, like, let's romanticize this, let's be cute. So many opportunities open up to you because you are looking at your life through that lens of like, this is fun. And I think that's, I mean, of course, you know, people like going on vacation as a break, but I think also when you're on a trip with your friends or something, or like you're going out, like, sometimes it's like, oh, like, this is for fun, this isn't real. But when you like, it's easier to get into that state of like, this is just fun. But when you can incorporate a little bit of that in the day-to-day, then you're just gonna feel like that a lot of the time. There, you know, are what, 2 months left of summer, and I mean more because of global warming, honestly, but like, you know, actually, I don't know about y'all, but I'm really going to use these next couple months to embrace a new era more and more. I need to do things like go through my closet. I have so many clothes that I just don't want to wear anymore, or that just don't fit, you know, my ideal vision of myself. And I think that's another thing. You have to ask yourself, what would my ideal self do in this situation? Or what would they wear? Or like, if you're going through like clothes, for example, it's like, would they wear this? No. Donate it, toss it, like, whatever. Sell it on Poshmark, like. And that's how you align yourself to that version of yourself, because if you can think it and feel it, it can exist. You know, anything is achievable, and it's just so true that our own minds can hold us back so much. So getting yourself in that state again of fun, flirty, light, like, but we are also strict, and it's a practice. Like, it just makes life so much more interesting, because it's like every day it's like, ooh, like, what's gonna happen, like, you know. So I would love to know your thoughts on any of this. But yeah, if you're around my age, I'm in my late 20s now, it's just a really special time, because we can implement all that we have learned and experienced from our earlier years, and we have the entire rest of our lives, which, like, we have a good amount of time still being young, like, TBH, to implement it and like just get better and better. So it's really a time to be excited. What a time to be alive. Again, I would love to hear your thoughts on any of this down below. Let me know what you want me to talk about next week. And thank you so much for tuning in this week. Love y'all, and I will talk to you in the next podcast.